Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Tasia and I am a communication strategist by day and a content creator by night. And I'm doing a series talking about YouTube and Instagram and sharing all the strategies and tips I know about how to improve your presence online. Today we're going to be talking about YouTube SEO and how to rank in search and really capitalize on those keywords. Let's just start at the very beginning, and that would be, what is SEO? And it stands for search engine optimization. It's simply the process to optimize or improve the flow of traffic from search engines to wherever you would like that traffic to be directed to. So in the case of YouTube, of course, that is your videos, your YouTube channel. If it was a website, it would be to your website, etc. I'm sure you probably already know this, but of course we're going back to the basics, and that is the understanding that YouTube in itself is one giant search engine. Most people think of Google when they think of search engines, or Yahoo or Bing, but really every large platform has a search engine within itself. And so YouTube, whenever you type into that search bar, there is a giant engine behind that trying to make connections between the content that you want and the content that is actually on their platform. So YouTube SEO is simply the actionable items that you can do to improve those connections that YouTube search engine is trying to make with your content. So the big question here is, why do you care about optimizing your videos for YouTube? Some people have the misconception that you can just simply throw up a video on YouTube and somehow YouTube will just magically find its content and direct people to it. Unfortunately, YouTube is not that magnanimous. It's not going to just send random viewers to your channel just because you posted videos, even though, A for effort. But unfortunately, YouTube is not just going to reward the fact that you've put a lot of effort into a video and thrown it out there. You have to do a little bit of work to make sure that YouTube can actually find that content for you. YouTube is a giant sea of millions of videos, and what your job is to get YouTube's attention. So you need to give it the most information that it could possibly have and sort of leave it a series of breadcrumbs to help it make its way to your video and connect it to the right viewers who want to watch your video. So YouTube search engine optimization will help viewers be able to find your videos. It also helps YouTube to make the connections between your content and other videos. Like I said, YouTube is in the business of matchmaking. It wants to make sure that it can make the connection between your video and match it with the perfect complementary video that will keep people continuing to watch. Don't forget that YouTube is a business, and ultimately their goal is to make sure that you are watching videos as long as possible. It really wants you to go down that YouTube rabbit hole where you're watching video after video until you end up watching cat videos and you don't understand how you got there. YouTube search engine optimization also helps other search engines find your videos as well. It's not just important for people to be able to find your videos within YouTube, but it's also great and an extra bonus if you can pop up in Google searches, Bing, Yahoo, whatever searches are out there. It'd be awesome if you can pop up there as well. So there are 5 components to YouTube search engine optimization. Yes, there's actually 5, and I'm going to break them down for you. So the first one is your actual content. Before you even do anything in your description box or titles or anything, but YouTube, believe it or not, actually scans through what you are saying in a video. So even right now, as I'm talking about search engine optimization within YouTube, it's going to be looking for those keywords. And those are what's going to really help sort of give it a clue that that's what this video is about, and therefore it needs to link people searching for that keyword to this particular video. So before you do anything in filling out the information for your YouTube video, YouTube is already scanning through your content. If you don't believe me, then how do you think that YouTube creates captions? It's because it has technology that can hear your words and be able to decipher it out. So that's how it creates your captions. It also helps prevent horrible clickbait, because some people throw out thumbnails and then the actual YouTube video has nothing to do with what that thumbnail is. So it's also a good thing in terms of user experience. YouTube wants to make sure that it's not suggesting videos that when you actually click through, it turns out the video has nothing to do with what you want to, and therefore you click off and you now have a low search time, and ultimately you're not meeting the goal that YouTube has, and that is making sure that you are spending lots of time on YouTube. The second thing that is part of search engine optimization for your videos on YouTube, and that is of course the title. The title is one of the first things that people look at. They read through that title, and it's important for you to have keywords in that title as much as possible. Still make it readable, don't make it clickbaity, but ensure that you have keywords in there that really spell out what this video is about and will catch your viewers' attention. The third component component of search engine optimization within YouTube is the description. And a lot of people, I don't feel, take advantage of the description. I feel some people will throw up like one line or a couple words in there and then that's about it. But YouTube is actually scanning through that description to look for keywords. It is trying to decipher what is this video about, why will people want to watch this, and what kind of people will want to watch this, and it's trying to make those really important connections. So take the time to write really interesting descriptions, spell out what this video is really about, and try to throw some keywords in there that you think the keywords that are relating to the content that you're putting out there, so that to help YouTube's algorithm really figure out what's going on in this video. Next are the tags, and there's a little bit of debate about the value of tags, but I'm still sticking with them. I think that they're there for a reason, so definitely throw in some tags in there that you think are going to do well. And it's really important that you do your keyword research and really figure out what tags are important and what keywords you want to link to this particular video that will give you the best chance to get picked up in the algorithm. And lastly, number 5, and that is your thumbnails. Once again, YouTube is a little bit smarter than you might think it is, and it also has technology in there. Thanks to its father company, Google, YouTube has the ability to scan thumbnails. Yes, it has the ability to be able to determine the text that are within your thumbnails. So having text within your thumbnails is really important. One, to catch a viewer's attention, because as a human eye, we tend to just naturally read something as it's put in front of us. But second of all, it's also really important because YouTube has the ability to scan an actual thumbnail and be able to determine the objects that are within that thumbnail and the words that are in that thumbnail, and it's also playing into the factor of whether or not it thinks this is a good video to suggest to a viewer. Now that you know the 5 components that make up YouTube search engine optimization, now how do you actually optimize your videos? So I'm going to teach you some of the ways that you can optimize your videos on YouTube, and first is keyword research. Now this is a whole thing within itself, and I think I'm going to make my next video on YouTube specifically about this because keyword research is so important, and it's kind of a whole massive thing to really understand how it works and how to do the best job at that possible. But before you can even determine how to optimize your video for YouTube, you really got to do the keyword research and figure out which words you want to target on your video so that you have the best chance of ranking higher on YouTube and actually popping up in that search. If you haven't done keyword research, it's going to be really hard for you to determine what those keywords are that you really need to figure out. So do your keyword research before you even start talking in front of the camera. Determine what words you want to be able to say on camera, what is this whole video about, and determine which ones you should be really targeting to give you the best chance. It's always a bit of a tightrope walk because you're trying to figure out how to do videos that are going to pop up, maybe that are trending, that are really interesting, that people want to watch, but also not keep putting out the same content that's already there, or be trying to go against big behemoth YouTubers who already have millions or thousands of followers. And therefore, if you put out a video on this particular topic, nobody's going to see it because YouTube is always going to go towards the tried and true content that's already out there. And that's the bigger YouTubers that have been doing this longer or have more videos and watch time than you, and you're not going to rank in search. So next, of course, is your title. So make sure that you write a very easily readable title, one that has catchy keywords in it and that's going to get your viewers' attention. Also, try to ensure that it's not too short because there won't be enough keywords in there for you to get picked up. There are also people who say that don't make them too long. I have no problems with making my titles long. However, keep in mind, only the first part of your title is actually going to be viewed. So keep that in mind if you're going to front load your title with keywords or with the really strong message that you want to get across in this video. Make sure it's in the first part, because as you look on YouTube's pages and when you're looking through the search, when it's giving the search results, you really don't see the full title. So keep that in mind when you're creating your title. Write really interesting descriptions. Make sure that you fill it with lots of information and keywords. Also, it's an opportunity to share a little bit more about your channel, and therefore you can put in, like, for example, a list of other videos that you suggest people could watch, or also a little more description about what your channel is all about. That might help convert people from being just viewers to subscribers. So put all that information in that description. There's tons of space in there. I believe there's room for 5,000 characters, so don't be shy. Like, you can put in a lot into your description, so why leave it blank? Fill it with all of the nice little cookie breadcrumbs for YouTube to be able to follow, to be able to determine whether or not this is a video that it wants to suggest or which kinds of videos it wants to connect you to. And lastly, when we get to your thumbnail, making sure that your thumbnail is really really eye-popping and visually pleasing, but make sure that your text is very visible. Don't make it too small. Also be aware of the kinds of fonts that you're using. I love using fancy cursive fonts, but you have to be careful of the fact that that might make it harder for one, people to read, or two, for YouTube to actually be able to decipher and determine what is this actually about, because some fonts are easier than others for YouTube to be able to read. Also, keep in mind that YouTube doesn't just look for the text, it's actually looking for what visuals are in the thumbnail as well. So for example, right now I'm talking about YouTube. I've got a computer in the background. It might be looking for these kinds of things. So I know it sounds a little crazy that an AI bot is reading through your thumbnail and trying to determine what it's about, but that is how YouTube is so brilliant and why it's one of the biggest platforms in the world. They've put a lot of effort into energy into making sure that people are being connected to the correct content. That's it. That is all my information that I'm going to be talking about in terms of YouTube search engine optimization. I really hope that it helps you really optimize your videos and ensure that you get picked up and ranked in search. Like I said, there's a whole lot of other stuff that goes into it, especially in terms of keyword research and really researching your niche and so forth. So I'll definitely be doing another video really talking about some of the tools and strategies to do keyword research, because it is huge and so important on YouTube. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you spending your time with me. Please don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and if you would like to see more content just like this. Have a fabulous day, and I will see you next week. So the giant Instagram wrong platform. My hair is like falling down. So the giant YouTube machine. It's always a bit of a tightrope rock. Search engine optimization. What is this video about? As well as that's a blooper.